What's up, everybody? Good morning. What's going on? This is Trading Live with Bubba. And of course, as we take a look at the markets, well, first of all, let's go over yesterday. We had CPI, which was better than expectations. If you believe that, I got a bridge I can say in Brooklyn along with PPI this morning, which was also better. It's amazing how we get closer to the election and the numbers get better. Now, again, I don't have to tell you what the numbers are. You just have to look in your own bank account and ask yourself, what are the numbers like? That would be, that's the best measure. Now today, starting today, we're coming up towards the triple witching expiration, which is a week from tomorrow. So what you're having now, you're going to see some lighter volumes in the indexes because I'm showing September indexes here, although June is still trading. So there's a crossover of volume, but I'll show you how to adjust for that. But at the end of the day, I thought, and I've said to you, you guys have all heard me say that these markets are way overbought and look for a sell-off. And in fact, on my morning update, I did say that I thought we would close lower on the day today. And so far right now, the Dow is down, the NASDAQ is down. The NASDAQ is up still, but I think that doesn't get down too. The S&P is down and the Russell is down. I think they all get hammered throughout the day because I think that, again, not because I'm negative the markets, but because I think the markets are just overbought. I think that they're well far extended, okay? So we look at our overall, if we're going to end the trade, and right now there's really not much to trade. Okay, we have very little action anywhere right now. So let's go back and we'll take a look at our usual stocks and see if there's anything for us to do. Now all the news is out of the way. The Fed's done, so now we can look. And of course, Apple, I personally did sell spreads yesterday, the day before, and I'll look at maybe selling more today. But now we are coming back, but you're still extremely overbought in Apple. So that would be something that I would be looking at. I would only be playing Apple right now to the short side on a trade, but full disclosure, I own Apple. Okay. It's in my IRA, but it's something that right now I'd be looking to sell. Amazon is coming down to support. It's really in the middle of nowhere. Not a lot of trade to be made right here now. Cause I certainly wouldn't want to chase it to the downside. There was an opportunity yesterday and I'm not saying you should have taken it. I'm just saying that was the thing that you might have looked at on yesterday's go around. Coin has been very well. And once again, as we talked about on Tuesday, it was coming down to support. If it gets a big rally up to overbought conditions, look to sell. Look what's happening today. It's coming right back down to where we were on Tuesday after about a $12 rally. Today, I don't see much to do here. I've added crowd because I have a position in it now. And I'm short crowd. I'm not doing perfectly right now because I sold it after here. I have till tomorrow, but I did sell spreads here as I recommend to you all the time because it was extremely overbought. And if the things happen in the market the way I expect them to, I think that this will work out just fine as well. But again, you have to remember that not every trade is going to be a winner. Okay. Just always remember that not every trade is going to be a winner. Okay. Meta, as we said the other day, very overbought, looked to potentially sell it, but I also did warn you that I probably wouldn't do anything before the Federal Reserve. So now we're post Federal Reserve. We are still at an overbought position. So I would certainly look at doing something with that. Okay. That would be something that I would take a look at if it were me. And Google, okay, there we go. A little bit of a sell-off. Again, was overbought yesterday. Not much to do today. Okay. And these are the things that we always want to remember is where are we going to put ourselves in action? How are we going to take care of and put ourselves in the best position to be successful? Okay. That's something that we have to always be concerned about is where is it best for us? IWM, kind of in the middle of nowhere. But if you remember, on Tuesday, we were very oversold, and I said, why don't you sell some put spreads? Okay, here we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Now, we're probably going to get to, if I'm right, we'll probably get to be oversold again, and maybe tomorrow you'll take a look at selling some put spreads here. Again, see, if you've noticed, we don't pick a direction. Like, I don't have an opinion of which way I do, although the overall market, I have an opinion that I think there's going to be a little bit of a sell-off. That's just a natural reaction to a market that's very overbought. But from when we're looking at individual trades, Moderna, I got nothing to do. It's going to make a move. I have to wait till it makes a move before I can do anything. Okay. Microsoft, again, very overbought. I think it probably warrants selling some call spreads in here. Now, you could also try to wait till tomorrow. Okay. If you think that the markets are going to hold today, you want to make it a one-day trade, because remember, on Friday, all options become 0 DTE options. Okay. During the week, we've got IWM, SPY, QQQ that are 0 DTE every day. You've got three on GLD. You've got 3 days a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. And then on Fridays, everything is 0 DTE. So that, again, that's a decision that you have to make. So you can try to wait. Personally, I wouldn't wait. I would sell it here. Okay. In NVIDIA. Okay. Again, getting to that point, not quite there yet. And I have a bitter taste in my mouth in NVIDIA because I got trapped in it a couple of times, selling some deep in the money call spreads. But overall, if it does pop a little bit more, I will certainly sell it. I think now we're at a point where it's going to trade much truer because it's not so expensive. So you have more market participants that are trading on either side of this market right now. And the Qs are very overbought. I've already sold spreads. I've already sold the 477, 479, and the 476, 477. So in different accounts. So again, I've already sold spreads here. I would have no problem selling them here again. I think that this warrants a potential sell. I think that you're looking at that as an opportunity. Okay. Square in the middle of nowhere. Nothing really to do. Hasn't really performed. SPY, spiders, same thing, right? Here, I'm looking to sell. Okay. And again, this has nothing to do with an opinion of what I think of the markets. Okay. It has 100% to do with where they are positioned wise and probability wise. Okay. Let's just go back and see if we're missing anything. There's anything for us to do. Getting a little bit of a rally in the NASDAQ. Not enough for me to get excited. I mean, I got to see some volume get up to about here before I'd even look at it. Very little bit in the Dow. There's the crude oil potentially giving us something to potentially buy. Interestingly enough, it may be something to take a look at. And again, we'll see how it plays out. It's not going to be enough volume. Again, one of the things I want to always warn you about is could I justify a trade here? I could. Okay. But it's not enough. And my bigger concern is my lack of overall futures trading opportunity right now. Okay. That is my bigger concern right now, is the lack of true opportunity that I have. Okay. Again, if I can only get one trade, I don't really typically like to only make one trade. I want to make a bunch of trades and play the probability of a large number instead of on one. Okay. And I hope that makes sense to all of you, but that's what we're looking for. So to me, unless this gives me a volume bar like this here, I'm not trading. Okay. That's just the way that I see it. And I think that you want to make sure that you put yourself in a position. I'm just going to make one adjustment for myself. Okay. So again, right now, there's not much to do. Okay. I could certainly make a case if I wanted to for the NASDAQ, but again, I'm not interested in making cases. I want the markets to dictate to me and give me the next direction. Okay. So let's go back to our other screen and see what Tesla's doing. A little bit of a rally, but it's already kind of failing off a little bit, but it is very overbought. You want to take a pop in Tesla? I think it's probably a pretty good trade. Okay. Now, one of the things you could say against taking a trade in Tesla, and again, you want to, when you're looking at a trade, you want to look at all of the factors around the trade, not any of the fundamentals, but the actual. Here in Tesla, we have a very narrow range. Okay. The entire range is about $15, okay, $14, which again in Tesla is not that big a deal. So you may say, you know what, it's a little bit too tight, even though it is overbought. The range itself is not wide enough for me to want to get involved because it may not give me as high a probability. Win continues to be oversold. And remember, if we sell put spreads and win, we don't need a rally. We just need it not to go down. Okay. Remember, anytime you sell premium, either call spreads, if you're selling call spreads, you don't need a sell off. You just need it not to go higher. Okay. It can go flat. If you sell put spreads, you don't need it to go up. You just need it not to go lower. Okay. And of course, zoom, getting crushed, which is not a surprise, but it is very oversold here. Maybe worth an opportunity to look. And again, these are decisions that you have to make, and you have to decide your size, your risk. Okay. and how much you can mentally and emotionally stand, because when you sell these spreads, you're not looking to cover them until the end of the day at a profit, or they just go in the money. Okay. Again, you're not trying to take out 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 cents here. You're looking to get the entire credit. So if you collect 30 cents, you're trying to get the $30 times however many contracts that you traded. This is something that, people don't recognize. You're not scalping in and out of these spreads. The cost of the trade, the risk is not worth it. You cannot expose that type of risk to make those type of trades. Okay. Now let's go back and see. Now there's a potential coming here, maybe in the NASDAQ. Once again, it did continue higher, so maybe we'll take a look here at potentially taking a sale here. Again, it's something that we want to always be aware of. Are we going to get, if we can get the volume up a little bit higher, it might be worth an opportunity. But again, I'm a little bit concerned. Crude is continuing to go lower. Maybe it does give us a shot here. Gold is potential. But again, here we go again. I don't like and don't want to make exceptions to get trades on. Okay. I want to see them more clearly and have more clarity to that trade, because I think we make a mistake by trying to force in a trade. And again, I'm not going to do anything right here because I don't see it. And I certainly don't want to teach bad habits. Okay. As we look, because I think that we make the mistake of starting to see a mirage that does not exist. Okay. But because you're looking at the machine, you feel compelled that you have to make the trade. Remember, a no trade or making a decision not to trade is the same as making a trade. Okay. You're making a decision not to participate, just like you'd be making one to participate. So it is the same as a trade. A no trade is a trade. Okay. And I don't see anything that I want to get involved in right here. So I'm going to sit back and pass. Now, what I'm going to do over here, now I'm just going to switch over here, because again, I did tell you that we're in the middle of a rollover. So I'm going to actually put in the June futures, because those are still a little bit more active than the September as we go into rollovers. The rollover just started today. And if we're looking at our 4-minute, you can see that even on the June, where the volume still is, we're still not getting enough action. We need a little bit more. Now, again, would it have worked? Well, it might not be a winner. But again, I can't worry about what would have been. Those who go back and say it would have been a winner don't have enough guts to pull the trigger in the trade. And I advise not to make the trade. So I don't care. If it goes down, it goes down. It's not a big deal. Okay. I don't worry about the trades I don't take. I worry about the trades that I do get in, and using the proper management to protect myself when I am in those trades. Okay. And let's just take a look at the S&P, see if there's anything going on there. ESM 2024. And there's, again, very little here. And really, what are you really seeing? You're really seeing the S&P virtually just consolidating at a lower level. Okay. And of course, if we look at the, actually, I'll just type it in, the Dow, YMM 2024. Again, look what you have. You have the ranges narrowing in the market with the volume declining, telling you that there's probably not a lot to do right here. And I think when you learn to recognize that, I think you will find yourself much happier with your ability to trade, because you will not be putting yourself in major places of exposure. Now, the Russell, on the other hand, has a very real probability. If the volume will get up to here, okay, we could look to be a potential buyer in the Russell. Okay. Now, we may get there, we may not. And if we get there, I'm going to guess this is going to be a trade. Okay. Now, because we're running later on time, obviously, if you don't know how to manage a trade, then maybe you don't want to take it. I will take the trade, okay, if it shows, okay. But again, I can only manage it as long as I'm here. So if you have trouble, you're not sure how to manage those trades, but I will give you the trade, and I will give you the stop if it does appear, okay. And right now it is going to appear, so I can actually switch now, okay, to the 1 minute here, because that's my trigger signal. So now I'm looking at the 1 minute. And right now, if I were to make a trade, my stop would be 202.24. 2024 would be my stop right now, but I have no entry. So right now the stop could become lower. Okay, as it continues to go down, it is now down to 2022, 2020, and it continues to go lower because they continue to sell into this market right here. So I have no opportunity right now. But so right now my stop would be 202.15 would be where my stop would be if I get an entry. And it looks like there may be coming a potential entry here. We'll see. Okay, it's got to stay green for me to want to enter this trade, and it looks like it's going to get there. We just hope it doesn't go too far because we don't want to we don't want to overextend the amount of risk we're taking either. Okay, so again, this is something that we're watching and we're waiting, and we still got about 25 seconds because you must wait until the bar closes. Okay, you must wait until the bar closes. Okay, and it looks like it is closing. So now you have a decision to make. Okay, now the risk has gone significantly higher than we like to take. So you have to make that decision. Is this a trade in which you are comfortable with the amount of risk you have to take? Okay, it's certainly a trade that I just took myself. Okay, but it is at a higher risk. Okay. So you have to, again, you have to determine. Hold on 1 second. We got people bothering me. Okay. So now I'm going to put in, I've got 4 contracts on, and I'm going to put in some to exit so I can, hopefully get out and take some profits. Okay. And then once I get to that point, okay, once I get the profit part of it, okay, now I can then move my stop up to break even and take all the risk out and lock in a profit. Right now, we're still at about dead even. Okay, there's nothing going on. But based on everything that we're looking at, we should expect a little bit of a bounce anyways. Okay. So in the meantime, here we are just sitting. So we're still in. We have our stop in place, and there's no real exposure right now. We're still about even. So again, it's not anything that I'm not doing anything until either I sell, okay, and get out at some profits, or it takes me out on the stop. That is why my stops are all mathematical. They are all legend and designed per product, where how much risk I'm willing to take, because I want to make sure. And just to give you a good example, is we had a trade this morning in my live trading group that was in crude. We were in the trade for an hour. It went way against us, but we never got stopped out. And then, of course, it turned out to be a profitable trade. Okay, it's not my preference because I don't like to sit and hold them that long. But that is something to remember, that if you're using the right stop, you're putting yourself in a better position. So in the meantime, right now, this trade is a small loser. Nothing to really look at the moment. Okay, just again, you go on to the rest of your day and the rest of your trading, because right now, so you could be potentially getting a trade and go. Okay, now again, we're not going to be here, so I'm not going to start calling trades because I don't want anybody to get trapped or caught in a bad position in a market that they're not quite sure understanding. So what we'll do is we will be back on Tuesday with another Trading Live with Bubba. Have a great weekend, everybody. And again, just remember, no trade is a trade. Be patient, look for your opportunities, and find the best spot you can. And I think you'll be much happier as a trader. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.
Thanks for watching. Please be sure to take some time to read the disclaimer. Thank you.